just finishing up in town, then we're heading home. Heading home back to our farm. Morning, it's day 16 this morning, and just having a really lazy morning, which is actually nice. So just watched a movie this morning, but I'm gonna get and do a little bit of work now. I'm gonna try to see if I can create some sort of organized chaos in our we have a little room in our house that's sort of like a spare room, but it's the junk room. Here it is. I'm showing you all my secrets, all my shameful shame, the shame. So I'm going to try to get in there and clean it up today. So, you know, getting my life together, getting things organised. But the thing is, things go in there that don't have a home. So if it doesn't have a home, throw it in there. So I just don't know what I'm going to do with a lot of that stuff, but let's see. Let's have a look through.
So we just got a message to the Whitbird page, to our restaurant page, from a couple of regulars who used to come out. Well, can we say their names? We can say their name.
I suppose. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah, we should tell.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was Gail and Simon. I don't know. Not everyone probably doesn't know who that is, but they own.
They come out all the time.
Yeah. So they own Pro East Paints, and it's super lovely. It's overwhelming what they've done. They actually bought us a voucher at Anderson's Produce after watching our vlog, and I guess seeing a bit of the hard times that they're going through. But
we can't believe this.
Yeah,
I can't believe that. Like, they're small business owners as well, and they're going out to help another. Like, it's so sweet. I can't believe they've done that.
It's unbelievable, and it shows that they really thought about kind of where they bought the voucher from. They watched the vlog and seen, I guess, you know, the animals and other things that we're trying to do when we're off in the 6 months. So that's overwhelming. The love that we're feeling right now. So thanks, guys. It means the world to us.
Yeah, it's so sweet. I just can't believe this. I nearly died. Like, people are so sweet. And I've had so many messages, people just, you know, saying that we'll be here for you. And, like, people are so sweet.
Yeah. It's
but, like, we didn't do this vlog to people to feel sorry for us. But it's just not, it's so nice that people, I don't know, appreciate us, I suppose. It's really sweet. But it's totally unexpected. Like, I did not expect this.
Yeah. It is totally unexpected. And, you know, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. Like Sally said, you know, we didn't do the vlog to try to, I guess, get anything out of it.
No, no, we don't want anything.
No, it's just, it's lovely. It's overwhelming, the kindness that they've shown towards us. So.
Yeah, that is so sweet, hey? Thanks, guys. Oh, I'm so happy. That is so sweet.
So I haven't got a whole lot kind of done today. I've had a bit of a toothache, which is, it's a piss ass excuse for not doing much, but yeah, it's really been giving me curry today, so I haven't really done a whole lot. But what I have been doing is a lot of research and trying to figure out. So I'm in the little veggie patch that I cut the other day, and you probably can't tell much in the video, but this ground really slopes away quite badly. So I'm just trying to work out how it is I'm gonna get these garden beds built, because I don't want the garden bed sloping, because what happens is, you know, you water it and all the water's gonna flow down to one end. The soil down one end is gonna be really wet, and the soil up the other side is not gonna get as much moisture. So trying to figure out how it is I'm gonna make these garden beds level. Initially I thought I was going to just get some soil and build this area up and make it level, just landscape it basically, but in the future when I expand the garden way down there, you know, it's just going to be too much to build up, so can't do that. Normally what I would do, if it's kind of normal times, is, I'll show you a bit of example here. So here's one side of the garden bed here. I think level, it's around about there, so there's quite a big gap. What I would usually do is cut another piece of timber to slot in under there, but I don't have enough timber as it is to make the garden beds I want, so I can't do that. So what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is try to cut in to the side of the hill, basically. So cut out a piece for the high end to sit in. Not ideal, because then that timber's going to be sitting down in soil both sides all the time, but got to do what you got to do. This is all about working with what we've got. It's like, ordinarily I just whip into Bunnings and buy, you know, double the amount of timber that I need and it would be fine, but we got to use what we got. I went through and cleared one of these tomato beds because the tomato bush that was here, unlike those guys, they're still going strong and setting fruit and still growing. This guy was pretty well had it here, so I went and cleared him, but I did find, after I cleared him, that there's another one growing there and a little one starting there. So I was going to dig this all up and compost it and get ready to plant something else, but now that these guys are growing, I don't know, I've got plenty of beds just at the moment and not enough seedlings, so I might even just leave them and see what happens. Here we have our little Mizunas and some spinach planted out. I know they're tiny now, but hopefully they will grow and we can eat salads again. And here's our rocket. Rocket's actually going pretty good. It was struggling, but I put a layer of compost down, the compost that I dug out of the chicken coops, and they've really loved that. They've really shot up. Like, you know, some of these guys, you know, they're even getting ready to maybe start to harvest shortly.
Morning. So it is day 17. This morning I'm just going through our finances again and just sort of having a relook and seeing exactly how much it's costing us a day to exist and how much it's costing our business and everything. A lot of the payments, like when we first closed, we paused as much as stuff as we could. In the next couple of days and next week and stuff, a lot of those things are going to start to come out again. So people couldn't really pause them. They just deferred it for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to have a look now and see how much things are going to cost us, which is a little bit scary because yeah, things like it's still costing us so much money. But I'm going to have a look because the worst thing to do is just to turn your back to it and pretend it doesn't exist. So I'm going to get in there now, really have a look exactly how much is it costing us. And yeah, sometimes like scary things like this you just don't want to do and you put off. But I know I need to know exactly how much it's costing us. Okay, so I'm just going to get the brooder ready for our chickens. So I'm just setting up our chicken brooder. So hopefully we'll have some little baby chickens soon. So I'm just going to sort of explain what I've done. So Devon has built these awesome boxes, which is so good. They're going to come in a lot. Oh, very, very handy. So this is the heater. This heats the chickens. So you can't have baby chickens without heat. Now I bought this one. I haven't actually used it yet, which is so exciting. But it's supposed to mimic the like the mother hen. Like it's not an actual heat source. It's, I don't know, it's something a little bit different. And it's supposed to be really fire safe. That's why I got it, because I always worry about fires, always worry. And I just put this water in. This is for when they're a little bit older. I don't think they're going to be able to use it when they're young, but this is great because we can have heaps of water in here, so we don't ever have to worry about them running out of water. And then we put this litter just all over the base. just to keep things nice and clean and fresh. And I'm just going to put a feeder in the corner there. I still got a feeder, so I think we're pretty ready for our babies. Now I'm going to talk about what's happening over here. So we have 2 incubators going now, both filled with eggs. And today is what we call lockdown. So day 18 with chickens, we change the incubator. So at the moment, the eggs are on a rotating device, which means, so this machine here is heating them and slowly rotating the eggs. On day 18, which is lockdown, we need to take this level out and put them just down on the base so they don't rotate, because you want them to be still for those last couple of days, because then they can get in position and hatch. So hopefully we'll have chickens in the next 3 days. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping everyone's good in there. We did have that power outage through the week, so I'm hoping that we had no fatalities there, but we will find out. We will find out, see if we got some babies for Easter. Okay, so we've just locked down the eggs, so hopefully in the next couple of days we'll see little pips and movement, and then hopefully we'll have some babies that are hatching. So the next couple of days I have to keep a really close eye on the humidity. So humidity is really important when you're hatching eggs. If it's too dry, they shrink wrap in the shell and it kills them. If it's too wet, they'll drown. Like, it's really, really tricky. But we've had really good success with our incubator in the past, so just trying to keep an eye on that humidity level. We have to increase it now as they start to hatch. Ooh, some babies. This is so exciting.
I'm just sitting down now to try to design out and just plan out the general layout of the veggie garden. I've got it all mowed and ready to go, so it's trying to start laying some beds, but just got to sit down and just try to plan out exactly where everything's going, because I'm talking to Zali this morning, it's quite tricky at the moment to try to, I guess, find the balance between making it work now and making it work in the future. Like, it's very easy to make things work now when I've got ample time to, I guess, maintain it and upkeep it. I've got ample time to water, I've got ample time to fertilize, I've got ample time to weed around the place, you know, time to amend the soil and stuff like that. But in the future, when we go back to work, back to Whitbird and back into the regular routine, I won't have anywhere near as much time to do those things as I do now. So it's tricky to try to find the balance between making it work now and having it easily adaptable in the future, because like right now I'm trying to make sure I leave enough room for, like, I want to get another 1,000 litre IBC and put on the top side of the garden so I can mix up like 1,000 litres worth of like liquid fertilizer at a time, rather than, you know, trying to do it through watering cans. I know you can get those applicators, but I don't like them. And then, you know, I could just mix it up and then run it through the irrigation system that I plan on putting in. So these are all things that I plan on doing in the future, but I won't do now because, you know, there's going to be quite a substantial cost to get all that set up. I don't want to do that now, but I don't want to shoot myself in the foot when I try to do it later and I didn't leave enough space or didn't set it up, so it's going to work like that. So it's quite tricky. I've got to sit down and draw it up, which is, I'm embarrassingly bad at drawing things and putting like a design on paper, so it's going to be hairy, but we'll see how I go. Alright, so I've got my design. I've just used a bit of scrap timber here to just mark out a few things. So just here is where, ooh, you can see my shadow. I'll just use my shadow. So just here you can see that's where the I want to put a garden shed. in the future, so I'm just using that to make sure that when I'm placing the new garden beds around, I'm going to leave myself enough room for that. And up here, I've just marked out where I want to put that 1,000 litre water shuttle there to mix up like liquid fertilizer and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not going to come up too close here anyway, because I want to walkway all along here. So yeah, we're up to starting to put the beds in, which is going to be the hard job. So I'm hoping the tank beds, I'm hoping I can just whack them in there without having to do too much leveling and carrying on. But these longer raised beds I'm building out of timber, they're definitely going to have to be dug into the side. So let's start with the easy ones, start with the tank ones, and see how we go. So here we are, the first of the garden beds are in place. I'm telling myself that they're okay, but I just don't know if they are, level-wise. Like this one here, I'm certainly alright with. It's not perfectly level, but it's pretty damn close. These other three, I don't know. Luna! Don't eat the cow shit. These other three, I'm not sure about. Like, I don't know, it's probably okay, but it is going to be much harder to dig these in than it will be to dig the regular, the timber raised beds in, just because these are circular, and it's a pain in the ass to try to dig out. But you know, ideally they should be lifted up, I don't know, maybe not a whole lot, but maybe like 50 centimeters, maybe not quite that. I don't know. If I get keen, I'll see if I can level them out. I don't think I will with this one, because he ended up a fair bit higher than the rest, so I'm just going to fill him a little less with soil and just make sure that the soil's level. But these other guys probably not high enough to really do that, so I'd like to try to get them level. What are you doing, Looney? Do you see Cindy over there? Trying to get through the fence. Look at him, perfectly camouflaged against the dead grass. You can't get through the dog netting, but you found a way through, didn't you? Here's another episode of Cinny eating shit he shouldn't be. The only difference is this time, it's actually shit. Cinny! Get out of it! You dirty stinking grub.
So I'm just going to try to recycle some containers that we got from Whitbird and see if we can recycle them and use them in the garden. So I'm just going to cut them up, make some little pots and stuff. So let's have a look. Okay, so let me show everyone what I've done here. I just can't get my glove off with one hand. Excuse me. Okay, so let me show everyone what I've done here. So basically with what that big bag of rubbish and all this rubbish here looked like, I'm just going to organize through it just so we know what's happening. Otherwise, if it stayed a big bag of rubbish, I would just never, ever, ever get to it. So here's what's happening. Now with egg cartons, we use these as seedling trays. So we try to recycle as much as we can. Like some things we can't, but like we try to recycle as much as we can. So you just fill that with your potting mix and then you plant your seedlings in there. Really great to start seedlings. And what I might try to do this time is cut out the individual squares so that you can just plant the whole thing in the ground. I have tried egg cartons once before. They did work well, just when the seeds got very big, they got very composted. So I'm going to try them again, see how it goes. So I've organized this very simply. So on this side here, we just have things to plant things in. So any sort of container. You do just need to puncture some holes in the bottom to plant things in. These ones here came with little holes already in them, which was so good. So all of these trays from Whitbird we can use. They got little holes in them already. So that would be good for like seeding like lettuce, or I don't know, like that's what I imagine in these. just like little seeds because they're very shallow. Like these you could probably put like a plant in or something because there's a bit more soil, but those would definitely have to be seedlings. And now these things I've made here, I've just cut, cut the bottoms off and I've kept the tops because what I imagine this good for is sticking over a plant to protect it. So sometimes we need to protect plants. Like the chickens are the worst things in the world. They're the best things, but the worst things for plants because like they come and peck things off. So when we just plant something, we could stick that on. It's got a little aerating hole at the top, and when they get big enough to look after themselves, we can pull it off. Same for the milk jugs. Okay, so that's what I've done there. These things here, I just didn't know what yet, but I thought this was like looked like a good water or. Give me a second with them. I might be able to figure out a way to recycle them. And these ones, I'm going to recycle just like traditionally, like put them in the, with the 10-cent bottles because I think I have enough here that I don't even need them. And also these, I'm trying to figure out something to do with these. So, yeah, I might figure something out. I don't really want to throw them out. But also with my other recycled things, I want to show you guys this. So these are my milk jugs. This is what I've done this time, is had the planters and then the things you put on the top. But I want to show you what I've done in the past. So, oh my gosh, Devon's socks are lying here. Our place just still needs cleaning up. Look at that, you dirty. Devon, you like, why are they there? Anyway, so here are my planters. So what I've done is just milk jugs. And then I've mounted like a hook on the wall. This is a piece of bamboo. This is an old broomstick. And then I just put the plants in there. So these are plants that are in like TLC. So things that like look dead and I try to revive them. This is some comfrey. I swear it was dead. I think I've killed it about 3 times, but I'm going to plant him out soon. I think he's doing good. And like a few things did not make it. But a few things like are doing good. But anyway, that's my planting system for them. My only advice is if anyone does this at home, you need to replace them regularly because in the sun they do get a bit brittle. But these have been here for like 6 months probably, and they're they're doing pretty good. But they do get a bit brittle in the sun. But like you can get 6 months. So I just cut them like like that, and then threaded them on. And it's easy because you just unhook it here, like it just lifts off, and you can slide them off when you need them. So that's one way of recycled.
So I got sick of digging, so I called in reinforcements.
Just gotten into Devon's spinach and Mizuna. Hey baby.
Bitch face.
Don't say that about our beautiful little girl.
Beautiful little Mizuna ruining girl.
Here she comes now. Oh, hang on, that's Sini. Oh, sorry, Sini. You're just a little fluff.
Basking in her shame.
She is. She's so naughty. She knows she's naughty this morning. She woke up, like, as soon as we woke up, she was weird. And I was like, what have you done? What have you done? I knew she'd done something. And then when we went outside, she even got weirder. There's probably a few things buried in there, Dev. Yeah, she gives away when she's done something naughty. She gives it away so clearly.
See, it was struggling to begin with. Now it's copped that.
We might have to plan a few more, eh?
I don't think it's gonna.
Some might survive.
Some might get through.
Otherwise, we've got a lot of rocket.
Some of the spinach I think will be okay, but
We'll see.
maybe not.
This is the first little bit of sign of life. That little crack there, it's a bit hard to see. Oh, means there's a little chicken in there trying to get out. First sign of life.
Good morning. So here we are. Oh, hang on. I'm just gonna. Sorry. So here we are back in the veggie garden this morning, or what will be the veggie garden. A lot to do today. See Dad drop me off a couple scoops full of some topsoil from around the place, so it just saves me digging it all out. But yesterday I was talking about these garden beds not being level, and once I actually put a plank on with the spirit level, I realized they were a lot worse than I kind of thought they were. Way too far not to do anything about. And it was a fair bit of digging. So I just kind of dug one side out, built the other side up. But eventually we did get level. I really didn't want to have to do that, but like I said, I've got the time, so might as well do it right.
Okay, so I'm going to video my laundry routine. It's laundry day today, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing for my laundry. It's not working too bad. It's a lot of physical work, but I don't know, get some clean clothes at the end. I figured out the water issue. You just got to make sure you wash when the water's not really dirty. So if it rains, or like sometimes it's really dirty, dirtier than others, but you just got to check the water first, make sure it's clean before you wash them. I think I got my system down pat. We shall survive this. Come out and I hurl my buckets down here. I just hurl it off the deck, and Devon was sitting there and I'd already started mid-hurl and tried to pull it back before I tipped the whole bucket of water on him. Halfway out with the bucket, and then I screamed when I saw him down there, and he's like oh, I think I missed him. I was like then steered it off the side. So just outside now, I'm going to do some gardening. I need to get outside and get some fresh air. We've had a very stressful morning. So we finally got onto our equipment people. Like I was saying that we couldn't get onto them. We finally got onto them. They finally sent through what we needed, so we wanted to pay it out. When I was first talking to the man, he said it's $3,000 to pay it out. And I was like, okay, great. You know, we can make that happen. Let's pay it out. Let's get rid of it. Done. It's $11,000. I don't know, he must have read it completely wrong. Like, we were budgeting for $3,000 and it's $11,000. So when you think things are bad, they're worse. Oh, I couldn't believe it. So all morning we've been crunching numbers, we've been figuring things out, but like, it's so hard. But see, it's hard for us, and our business was doing really good. Like, we were doing really, really good before all this happened. Like, really good. We were making it, we were putting money away, like, into savings. We were doing good. You know what I mean? It's just so disappointing. Now we can't have enough money to pay for our equipment. We can't, you know, it's so frustrating. We still think we're going to try to, I don't know, pay something out, because if we don't, here's the thing, it's so tricky, because we can pay it out. If we pay it out now, you know, that's it. We don't have to pay anything else. But it's $400 a week. But see, these people, they're not doing much for us. So they said all they can do is keep pushing the payments back. So you miss a payment and then it goes into arrears. So when we reopen, we'll have, depending if it's 6 months' time, we'll have over $10,000 worth of arrears. So when we open our business, we're going to have the $400 a week that's still coming out, plus a $10,000 debt. And like, we're only this tiny little cafe. I just don't know if we can swing that. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So, because like, people got to be careful, because people are saying, oh, look, don't worry, you know, you don't have to worry about your payments, you don't have to worry about them. But the thing is, you do need to worry about them, because they don't just disappear. They're still there and you still need to pay for them. So when things go back to normal, you're going to be in debt and it's going to be really hard to come out. So we're trying to think of our future self here. Like, how can we protect ourselves so when we open again, we're in a really good position and we can just go for it. We don't need to worry about excessive debts, because we're not really in debt. Like, we don't want any debts, but we're gonna have to have some. We're gonna have to sort of figure out what gets paid. But it's so stressful. So stressful. I just feel so sorry for everyone else going through this. All the cafes, like, this is a big company that leases out this equipment. All these cafes, like, they can't just get out, like, they're going to have to pay huge amounts. And you can't send the equipment back either. Like, it's so frustrating. Anyway, we do what we can, just one day at a time. One day at a time. But now's a really good time to get into the garden and dig up some grass, because I have a lot of tension that I need to expel. And I think I'm going to be able to enjoy this and really get into it. It's such hard work. But it'll be good to get rid of some energy, because I've been sitting in the house all day figuring out these numbers. So it's going to be good to get outside in the sun and really get rid of some of this energy, anxiety, frustration, anger, everything above. Okay, so I don't know if you can really see this. All you can see is my gigantic shadow. Okay, so I want to tell you something. I have a gardening life motto for everybody. So these, you can see here. So I have planted 3 sections of plants here. So along this fence, 1, and then you can see these little green fellas through here. And then I've planted plants in here. So these ones you can see. These ones you can't. I think these plants are us. You know, they're shriveled, they're dead, the sun's taken a beating to them, and they are just not doing good. But I reckon they're gonna come back. Rise, plants, conquer. You shall conquer once more. Rise from the ashes, little ones. Okay, so Devin and I decided that this Ivy we were going to plan out some little beans and snow peas. So we just decided to do this together, because with everything going on, you're always fighting about money or something. It's very stressful. All this stuff that's happening is very stressful in a relationship. So we're just going to make sure that we make time for each other, and I don't know, we're there for each other as well.
garden. I'm trying to leave this sort of work till I guess a little bit later in the afternoons because it is quite hard, you know, digging in early mornings and late in the afternoons. It's just beautiful. It's nice and still, a little bit cooler, not working in the blaring sun. So I've got a couple of beds done. I got this one here done, and that fella up there, he's done. They're both level. Just working on that third one over there now. I'm getting there. It's been a bit of a slow day. I've been in a bit of a funk today. I had to call Silver Chef, who we lease our equipment off, and try to work out something there. It's been the 5th phone call I've had to make, so I was a little bit cranky when I called, but we are starting to get somewhere there. The payout, so we were looking at paying our equipment out because what they were doing in aid of COVID-19 is they were pausing our lease payments, but what that actually does is puts you into arrears. So they're not pausing them, like hibernating them like they're saying. They're still making you pay it, but they're just going to make you pay off the lump sum at a later date. So I'm not too keen on that because I don't want to be trying to reopen the restaurant, trying to reopen the business and having this $10,000 bill pop up and they're like, hey, don't forget about me. So yeah, I'm not too keen on that. So this person we spoke to first did say that we could pay it out and they would negotiate a figure there. The person I'm talking to now is saying they're not willing, well, not as willing to negotiate, and the figure that they had was a little bit more, a few thousand more than I'd probably be comfortable kind of spending right now. It's really awkward. I'm sure Zali's gone through this in her videos, but it's really awkward trying to, I guess, budget for this when you don't have a timeline. Like yeah, they're saying 6 months. I'm thinking maybe it might be around 6 months that we have to be closed for, but you know, it could be longer. It could be 8 months. It could be 9 months. And there's a big difference between the amount of money you have to keep for 6 months without an income and 9 months without an income. And, you know, we just don't want to spend, I guess, too much money now trying to clean things up and tidy things up and then get to 6 months and like, hey, it's another 2 months away before you can reopen. And I guess us being out of funds. So we got to be really smart with the money that we spend and how we spend it and where we spend it. I'm still in favour of doing that, but we'll just have to wait and see. But enough of that shit. Just enjoy the glorious afternoons. The dogs are. Hey Diggies. See me, Luna. Say hello. It's the funniest thing that Luna does. So when I come down from the house, I crawl through this fence here to get into this area here. I will move this fence eventually, but it's here at the moment. But you probably can't tell that there's this mesh down here because way back in the day they used to have little calves in here. And Luna can't get through that mesh. So she sits just on the other side, just over there on the track, and she just whines and whines and whines and whines. So we've got a track, but she doesn't. I've showed her this like 1,000 times, but she doesn't get it. So I've got to walk all the way along there, up the other side of that pepperina tree over there. Ooh, where is it? Up the other side of that pepperina tree over there to get to get her through that. They're scruffing between my legs, and I just got bit. Collateral damage. I hope that got them. It wasn't just showing my crotch. If it was bad, I hope Sally can edit that out. So I was starting to make some bread here, some campfire artisan bread, but my plans actually got changed a little just when I kind of got things going. Got this phone call from Dad that I had to go into town and pick up some tractor parts for him.
You haven't got a clucky hen?
No, well we had that one that was clucky for a while, but she didn't manage to hatch them, so we're not giving them a second chance.
No, not if you've got an incubator, eh?
Yeah, and we've got someone who wants 4, so we'll give them four of them. And then,
really?
Yeah, and then we'll keep the rest.
Oh, good. Oh, well, that's something. Yeah. I haven't been out now 3 days, 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't even been up the street, but the neighbour woman went up the street yesterday and she said there's hardly anything to get.
Yeah, I would imagine. Well, we haven't been out in a while, but Dad just called. I got to fly down to Mergen for him now and pick up a ram from.
Well, you better get going.
Yeah, I'm on my way down there now.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh me. Yeah, righto, I better let you be then.
Yep, righto.
Catch you again.
Right, see ya.
Bye.
Just going in, so we went into Mergen to get a few things.
We went into Mergen to pick up a hydraulic ram for Dad from my brother who works in Mergen that had to be replaced. And where he works, you can't turn into, like, from the way we were coming. So we had to go up to, if anyone knows the area, to Mergen BP and kind of turn in there so we can turn around and go the other way.
So there's 2 lanes, and we went in the right lane to turn.
Yeah.
You know, and there's another lane to the left.
Yeah, as if we were turning into BP. And, like, I was pulled over, indicator on, waiting to turn because there was cars coming the opposite direction. And BAM! This person has just come up and rammed us right up the arse.
But it's not like, it's her fault, but she was very apologetic about it, like, which was nice, because, like, you don't want people, like, yelling at you and thinking that it's your fault, because, you know, we were obviously in the turning lane indicating, and she just, I don't know.
Yeah, she was good about it. She was good. She admitted that she was 100%
Poor thing though, like, it's very, like, it's, yeah, we all make those mistakes. Like, we can't yell at, you know, like, she was shaking, and, like, everyone makes a mistake, like, but it is just a shit thing to happen, like, a really just not a good thing.
And, like, I don't know, I guess it makes it worse, the fact that, like, we're not driving our car. Like, you know, we were doing this for Dad, so we were driving, like, Mum and Dad's car.
This is what happens, Devon, in times like this. Like, everyone is stressed. Everyone has their own problems. They're upset about something.
Yeah, off in their own world, trying to sort their shit out, which...
Yeah. And it's distraction when you're trying to drive. Like, if you're thinking about, you know, keeping it... I don't know. There's so much going on right now. Like, it's hard. Like, more accidents are going to happen now than ever. Car accidents.
Yeah.
Or any sort of accidents, because everyone's so emotionally
so
charged.
Wound up. Tensions are high. Like, yeah, it makes it hard.
Yeah.
But, like, I was just saying to Zali, it's just lucky that when she hit when she put her brakes on, the tyres screeched. And, like, it was lucky
they screeched so loud.
It gave me time to kind of look up, see that she was coming, and just gave me a little bit of a chance to put my foot down and get some momentum happening. So,
yeah,
like,
try to get out of her way a little bit.
It's not like she was hitting me at a full standstill, like we were moving.
Yeah, if you were like, oh, and just stayed still, it would have been a lot worse.
If we were stayed still, like, the damage would have been a lot worse. Because the damage as it is on the car is not...
No, it's not too bad,
much.
actually.
Like, the bumpers,
it felt so bad. Like, it hit us, and we, like... Oh, it, like, threw me off my seat. I thought the whole back would be smashed.
Yeah,
I just had no idea. It was a hit. Like, It threw me forward.
Yeah, there was a noticeable jolt.
Yeah. And then all my legs and arms started shaking like this, and I'm trying to bloody walk across the road, and I'm like, you know, when something happens
Jelly
so
legs.
traumatic, I couldn't even control my legs. I was so shaken.
I
was shaking. I couldn't walk properly.
I don't think you can call this traumatic.
Oh, as if it wasn't traumatic, Devon. No, that was very traumatic, Dev. Like to hear screeching. But it's lucky she didn't go off the side. You know, it was actually the best case scenario, like, because it could have been a lot worse. Like she must have sort of turned a bit as well or something. Like, oh, it could have been a lot worse. But I'm definitely shaken.
You would have done more damage reversing into a tree, like, you know.
Yeah. So I just finished cleaning the downstairs area, which is really, really good. So that downstairs area isn't actually a part of the house. It's like this added on little thing. It's in terrible condition. The, the concrete's coming up and it's just about to fall down. So a lot of stuff just gets dumped there. Oh, that's the story of my life. Just dumping things, it seems, on this vlog. But I'm getting there. I'm still going to focus on a few little areas, just one little area at a time, so I can get on track and, pull things together and get organized and everything else. Just finding everything at home, which is getting easier now that I've found a few things at home, you know what I mean? Makes everything a bit easier. What else have I done today? That's about it. Apart from getting in a car accident. Oh, it's been one of those days. But most of the day we've just been staying home. Devon's been baking his bread. I've been doing the laundry all day, and we've been watching our little chickens, seeing how many little babies we get. They're really, really sweet. We love them. Oh, I think you got her. And we get chickies. Home time. Home time. Home time.
No, Baxter. Melissa, come on.
Come on, Baxter, in you get. You're a pain. No Blackie. That's all today. So we are keeping some eggs to incubate. You can really see it in this light, but this egg's like a really pastel pink. It is so pretty. So what we breed on the farm are called Easter eggers, which means we breed our chickens so that they lay all different colors of eggs. So that's a little pastel pink. And today we also collected this really pastel green. It's so hard to see in this light. Little pastel green. We also have a chook that's not laying at the moment that lays these beautiful deep olive greens, eggs. They're so beautiful. And this is just like a really pastel blue. We've got a fair few ones that lay blue, but we want to get more blue because they're so beautiful. So just like a few pastels, something different. These are just regular old eggs. So we might incubate a few of them as well, because these chickens lay nice big eggs. You want to keep like a little bit of this breed in the regular eggs so that you get the pretty colours but also decent sizes as well. Ah, they're so pretty.
So before I went to Mergen this morning to get in our car accident, I was attempting something that I've never attempted before, and that is baking some bread, but I was going to do it in the Dutch oven I can't do this over the campfire. So I've never tried this before. I mean, I've made bread a lot before. I'd make a lot of bread. I'd make all the bread for Whitbird. All our burger buns. Sorry, I shouldn't say all the bread. That maybe Turkish bread and sourdough, stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to attempt to make some bread in a Dutch oven, the camp oven, over fire. So I had this fire going this morning. I think I got some footage of that earlier. So I'm just relighting that now because, I mean, it's not ideal. It's the middle of the day now to try to do this, but I'm just going to do that and I'm going to work under the house there to try to get some re-stumping done. So, well, not re-stumping, some temporary stumping to get us through. So I'll build the fire and I'll come back when I'm ready to start putting the bread on.
Bread's just finished. So let's take a peek, Dev. Devon thinks it might be a shriveled black prune.
I think it smells burnt. So
let's have a look.
It's a big reveal. I've never cooked bread like this before.
Done. Oh! Yum!
Maybe a bit burnt.
Dang, Dev. That looks great. Looks like a big croissant.
Doesn't look too bad, does it?
Woohoo!
It's definitely burnt.
Ah, where are you taking that? You're going to burn me with it. Where are you going? Over there?
I'll go over here.
Yeah, that looks great. Let's have a closer inspection.
It's definitely burnt.
Yeah, but not too bad for the first time you've ever made it.
I think what I had this side too close to the
the flame.
Too close to the actual
Hot.
fire, I think.
Oh, babe, nice.
So here's my bread, all finished. Not too bad for a first attempt in a camp oven over coals. But I think like the top's good. To get a bit burnt on this side where I think I left it probably a bit too close to the fire. That was just my fault. And yeah, underneath she was a bit hot, but again, primarily on this side, it was close to the fire. So yeah, pretty good. I wasn't too happy with the recipe, to be honest. Like the dough was very doughy when I cooked it, but it does seem it's crusted nicely. And yeah, it's not too bad. I'll wait till it cools a little bit more, then we'll slice them and we'll see what it looks like inside.
Pretty thick. Ah.
Ooh,
Oh.
it's nice on the inside.
Oh, wow. Oh, yum. Is that bad?
See, slow rise bread like this. This is slow rise bread. So I made the dough and you let it rise for 18 hours. And that's what gives you big air pockets.
Look how black that bottom is.
Yeah, Black Betty. That's what gives you big air pockets. Mm-hmm. If you just do like when you mix it, let it rise for 30 minutes, bash it down and then bake it, then you get smaller air pockets.
I like the big air pockets. I think that's rustic. El rustic. Oh, How nice is it that we got fresh baked bread? Oh! Dang. Morning everyone, today is day 20 and this morning already we've started to move our chickens from the incubator to the brooder, and again I'm just trying to get everything around the house in order. So this hallway I'm in now had a lot of junk in it. Not junk, but the bed, the end of the bed we weren't using. We were only using the bed head. And like bits of the bed that we weren't using, we put it here because we thought, oh, well, one day we will, you know, put it all together. But when we put it together, nothing fit, nothing worked. So it was just never going to happen. So I cleared that away. And like, if anyone has a house on a farm or a country house, it gets so dusty, like dirt this thick on floors. Like it is thick. So what we did was just clear that out and clear away all of the dust that was behind it, and staled it. I put some things on the wall, so I'll show you what it looks like.
Hey. So today you saw me clean out the hallway and the side. something I need to say is I have terrible hay fever. Oh, it's just absolutely the worst. So I always get it if I get really like a lot of dust or hay, because we live on a farm where you can see a lot of hay, and hay gives me hay fever. But that's actually not too bad now. But before, like, when did I finish? Just after lunch? Oh, it was probably, I think it would have to be the worst I've ever had it. My eyes were just, like, swollen. I couldn't even see through my eyes. It was so bad. I've never had it that bad. They were, like, so swollen. It's actually pretty good now, pretty mild, but oh my gosh, it was pretty bad. Like, swollen and but I really want to keep going and keep up with my cleaning. So before I just cleaned up, when I like pulled myself together, I put a mask on and wrapped myself up like a Muslim. So I didn't record this cleaning one because I was too embarrassed because I was all wrapped up like a mummy, just so to try to get the dust away from me, because it's awful. But I can show you what I've done. I just cleaned up this deck a little bit. So this house, before we moved in, was used for storage. So there's a lot of things, like a lot of storage. And now this stuff is going to go under the house, Devon says, when we, when we re-stump. So there's a lot of things that'll go under the house. But that's what I did this Avi. Yeah, I just did not want to stop. I did not want to let the hay fever win. So I'm like, okay, and wrap myself up. I look like a real Fruit Loop. But I don't know, you do what you gotta, hey loony. But I'm just gonna stay the Savi inside and hope it's gone or a little bit better tomorrow. But it is bad. The only expense we've had, the only personal expense that we've had since we closed was hay fever medication for me. Like, I put up with it for so long, but it just gets so bad. My sinus, I can't sleep at night, keeps me up. It's so bad. So I'm like, okay, Devon, we are getting, like, we have to be able to get some hay fever. But I'm even fully loaded on hay fever medication, and I'm still like, oh, hey, darling. Don't you come up there, hey? But I have to go to town at the end of the week. I just hope my hay fever's gone before then, because I do not want to go in sniffling and snuffling. Hey, Looney. Oh, my headache is killing me. Sinus headaches. Like, I get the worst hay fever, and like, when you tell people, they're like, oh, hay fever, yeah, whatever. Like, it's killing me. But I'm hoping to get the house clean enough that, like, it doesn't really flare up my hay fever. I'm trying to convince Devon to do the cleaning in the house. I haven't really won that battle. Oh, we'll do what we can.
Okay, so I'm going to do something completely different here, and completely different, but I read an article today that said that you can actually grow quinoa just from store-bought quinoa. So the quinoa you just buy at Woolies, IGA, Aldi, wherever. For cooking, you can actually grow that and use that as seed to grow quinoa. So that is what I'm going to try to do. So I've never tried growing quinoa before. I don't know much about it as far as the plant itself goes. Yeah, so it's just going to be a little bit of an experiment. I'm not going to grow a hell of a lot. I'm just going to do a tray's worth. It grows quite tall, like 1.2 meters to double that apparently if it gets good rainfall in a good season. I haven't really found any solid information about, well, I suppose I have, but it's a cool weather crop. It is cool weather, not cold weather. So how we're going to go coming into winter, I don't know. But apparently it does like it quite cold. And it can handle light frosts, but they don't class it as frost tolerant. Frosting doesn't bother me because where we are here, we never ever, well, I mean, I've lived here for a long time and I've never seen a frost here, ever. Like even a couple of kilometers down the road, further down the hill, totally different story, but up here, I've never seen frost. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I should be able to get it to grow, and should get some quinoa off it, hopefully. So yeah, apparently it germinates best when nighttime temperatures aren't above, so they can be below, but aren't above 15 degrees. And we're kind of, I don't know, we're maybe not quite there yet. I don't really pay much attention to what the temperature is. Probably should, being an aspiring gardener. But I haven't. But I mean, we must be getting pretty close to that now, coming into April. Like usually we start seeing the first frost on Anzac Day. That's usually the thing. So I'm gonna plant this quinoa. So I'm just using this quinoa that I bought from, I don't know where we got it from, Aldi, I think. So apparently you can use any seed, any quinoa seed, as long as it's not a polished seed. So it can be washed and whatnot, but it can't be what they call a polished seed, because that takes some coating off the seed that won't allow it to germinate. That's all I'm gonna do. Now, I'm not a professional gardener. Like, this is not a gardening advice thing. This is just me rambling shit while planting some fucking quinoa. Pardon my language. So I'm just gonna get some quinoa. I have no idea how much seed to put in, but I'm just gonna sprinkle some. Because being this, I don't know how old this is either, but I don't expect to get a real flash germination rate out of it. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some quinoa in. I hope you guys have been enjoying the vlog as well. Like, it's been quite fun to make, and it's nice just to, I guess, be able to document kind of what we're doing at present. Not that, you know, we're not doing groundbreaking stuff by any means, but yeah, it's just nice to be able to, I guess, talk through. It might be nice for us to, in the future, after coronavirus, to go back and watch this. And it has been it's been a great opportunity to get a few of these things done that I've been meaning to do for a long time. But you know, with our lifestyle beforehand, it's just quite difficult. Alright, so I've got a fair bit of seed in each one, maybe too much, I don't know. But we'll just cover that over so they don't want a real lot of soil on top. This is my haphazard bloody planting. And this was tricolour quinoa as well. I don't know if they're different plants or what the go is, but there we go. One tray of quinoa planted. So I'll keep you posted on the quinoa progress, and hopefully in, I don't know, 4 to 7 days we should get some germination happening. So here I am in the duck coop with Daphne, who's actually a man, and Quacky over there, our lady. So Quacky was just sitting on eggs for quite a while, and she didn't manage to hatch any of them, unfortunately. And before that, she'd laid a bunch of eggs, and we tried to incubate them, but unfortunately we had a heat wave when that happened, and we couldn't get. So if they get when they get too hot, the babies inside die. Then we had a heat wave, we couldn't keep them cool enough inside the incubators, so we didn't manage to hatch them. I thought her egg laying days were over. So I've just come up here and I've got 2 duck eggs, and she might be laying another one over there now. So I'm gonna go talk to Zal, and I think maybe we should incubate these and see if we can get some more ducks, because we like ducks, but we've only got the 2. So we like some more, because I love duck eggs. So if I can get some more ducks, that'd be great. One of my specialty dishes at home is just a thrown together soup, and it has to be done over the fire and on the Dutch oven. Probably it's not a whole lot of light here, but there's nothing more calming than sitting back and watching and hearing a soup bubble away by the fire. Best apocalypse ever.
Morning, day 21. This morning we have to head into town, so I've had a lady's coming to pick up one of my paintings, which is exciting. So I'm gonna go be there so she can pick that up. And a few other things. So something that we've been working on the last couple of weeks is seeing if we're eligible for any sort of like Centrelink payment. I even hate to admit it, but it is just ridiculous, the amount of work and paper, because if we could get some sort of payment, then we really don't need to worry as much. Like, we'll have enough money to be able to buy some groceries. Like, at the moment, we don't even have any money. We have enough money to keep our business afloat, we think, but we don't have enough money for any sort of personal expenses like groceries or any sort of health or like things come up. So if we could get something like that, it'd just make the next couple of months a lot easier. But it is next to impossible, the amount of paperwork that we have to do. So we're finishing off the paperwork this morning, and we're going to go in and drop it off because you can't even upload it on their website. Ugh. I've never done Centrelink before, and this is probably why. Because on their website, you need to upload the documents, but their website freezes every 2 seconds because everyone must be on it. But the pages, we have, I think there's over 200 pages to upload. Like, it is an insane amount of paperwork we have to fill out. But you can only, like, when you upload it, it has limits on the size. So even if you reduce the quality down to the minimum where you can just read the words, you can only upload like 5 pages, and it's so frustrating. So we're going to have to go in and drop it off. So, joys.
Yet again, when you're in a hurry and you need to go somewhere,
We need to go, guineas.
guinea fowl.
Move.
And the thing about guinea fowl is they give 0 fucks. They're
gangster birds.
They are gangster birds. They just stand in the way with their scary ass clown heads and their little pantaloons. And they just don't. Look at them. Like, I'm itching and they just, like, nothing moves them.
You're gonna have to go bush, Steve.
Oh, that's, see, but no, they just run along the track.
Yeah.
I'm not going bush, look at that grass. Be bloody dinosaurs in there.
Get there.
We're just gonna have to wait. 3 hours later. We've moved about 1 meter. And they're still not caring.
We've moved the same pace as the guineas would naturally walk.
Yeah, this is slower than walking speed. In fact, the Speedo I don't think has moved. No, it doesn't move. Move! So I've had to send Zali out to sort him out. There they go, look at him run! Oh, now Zali's in the way. Oh, we are making... Look at them, but they're just running down the track. Like, look at them. Like, they're not getting out of the way. They're just running down the track. What pain in the ass, birds. That's it, I'll scare them. Scare them, wave your arms around. Now they're squawking. I don't know if you can hear that in the video, but they are complaining hard that we're making them run. Look at their little pantaloons run.
10 hours later.
This is getting ridiculous.
We're gonna be late, Devin.
Why are you late? Because our guinea fowls were on the track and they wouldn't fucking move.
Back at Whitbird now. We're gonna do a I've got a lady coming to pick up a painting, and we're gonna do a bit more cleaning, just make sure everything's really clean, and just checking in on the place. Oh, I miss this place so much.
Yeah. Timmy.
Oh. Okay. Oh, so we just went and bought some feed for our chickens, some bedding for our babies, because I was running so low on that I did not know what I was going to do. And also some little feeders as well. So these for our babies. One's for our baby chickens and then one's for our quails. So we are just so grateful for a little feeder. So we're going to give that to our chickens now. I just had it on this tiny little lid before and it wasn't enough feed. So we really needed some stuff. Oh, it's just so nice. We're so grateful.
Can you lot get out of my garden, please? I'm worried you're gonna step on my hose. On my hose. But really, can you just, like, get out? Like, I got a lot of work to do, and look at the bloody dumps that yous have chucked in there. I got work in there, you know. I got things to do. And you're all just chilling out. What are you doing over there? Away from my wheelbarrow.
You're gonna take a photo send to your daddy or something?
I'm videoing it.
Oh.
Oh, get out of my light.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?